First stop for you.
We are going. Hello guys,
I'm going to
welcome to my
stop
YouTube
next to a
channel.
convenience store.
I'm
One of
going
these
to-
spar shops. If you want to grab a snack or coffee,
Northern
you'll have a chance to
Ireland.
do that. I will, of course, be pointing out the bathrooms. I'll be doing that all day long. I'll do that when we get to the village of Carnlough. And
Belfast Castle.
more than that, when we stop in that village, they have a beautiful little harbour. You know, if you just want to go out for a few minutes, wander around the harbour, stretch your legs, get the fresh air, you'll get some beautiful photo opportunities there as well doing that. So look forward to it. It's your second stop in the village of Carnlough, just before 10 o'clock. Now when we leave the village of Carnlough, we're going to take in a photo opportunity, and that's really all it is. I'm going to bring you to a place, well, it's a little village called Cushendun. When we get there, there's not much in the village. Got to be honest, there's not really a lot. There's no real facilities at all. The reason we go to that village, we're going to have a look at some ancient caves. Now, let me put that in perspective. When I say ancient caves, these are caves that are said to be around 400 million years old. 400 million years old. And perhaps today, well, I don't know, but maybe like something you've never seen before. The caves themselves, the caves sit right next to the edge of the water. And if you're able to combine the both, you know, the caves, the water, maybe a little bit of sunshine, hopefully, you'll walk away with great photographs. And I'm going to talk to you all about the caves. I'll give you the backdrop to them. I'll tell you all about them when we get closer. When we leave the caves, when we leave the village of Cushendun, we've got to climb out of the glens of Antrim. We've got to climb up to a height of around 1,200 feet above sea level. We're going to make our way through the Antrim Hills. And again, beautiful landscape views as we do it. Beautiful purple heather. We'll talk about that a little bit later too. We're making our way towards a village called Ballintoy. Now when we get to Ballintoy today, we're going to take a bit of a break, a bit of a time out. We should be there around midday. We're going to stop at a pub restaurant. It's a place called the Fullerton Arms, and today the Fullerton Arms for us, that's going to be our designated lunch stop. And we've chosen that restaurant for lots of reasons. It's a nice place. You know, they have a good chef. He produces good food. The staff are nice. The surroundings are nice. The facilities are good. Those things are important no matter where you stop for lunch. That's almost a minimum you would expect. But we stop at the Fullerton Arms much more than that. We stop there because they are very efficient and we do not lose any time at lunch. We have so much to pack into this day tour, so much to get through today. The last thing we want to be doing, hanging around a restaurant for a minute longer than we absolutely need to. And the reason they're so efficient, we get to pre-order the lunch. We get it all set up long before we get there. And it's a very slick system. When we get to our first stop in a few minutes in Carrickfergus, you know, you're going to step out of the coach and do your thing. While you're off the coach, I'm going to set a menu up just here, right next to the door. I'll just lean it against the glass. As you're coming back in to take your seat, if you have a smartphone or a digital camera, all I need you to do is take a quick photograph of the menu. That's it. Just take a little snapshot and then take your seat. As we make our way from the first stop to the second stop, and remember, that's about a 1 hour drive. At some point, take a look at that photograph, take a look at the menu, and if you wish to choose something, you do not pay me for lunch. If you pay me for lunch, you will never see your money again. You pay the restaurant, and they're like any other restaurant in the world. They will accept multiple payment methods. They'll take all your credit cards, debit cards, contactless cards. You can pay with cash. They'll accept pound sterling. They'll also accept euro. You know, if you want to pay with euro, you can do that. And all of the prices are on the menu. So when you take the photograph, it's all very transparent. What you're getting to eat and how much it costs is right there. You make that decision. Let me know at the second stop, and I'll get it sorted for you. Does that sound okay for lunch? I hope you're all right. I hope so. Now, immediately after lunch, once you have recharged those batteries and had a bit of a break, you're going to come and join me back in the coach, and we're going to make a short drive, just about 20 minutes. 20 minutes after lunch, we're going to rock into the goal of today, the focus of today's tour and your longest stop. We're making our way towards the UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is, of course, the Giant's Causeway, and we will spend up to 2 hours there today. Gives you loads of time to go out and explore and discover, marvel at it. Over and above everything else, the area around the Giant's Causeway, it has got to be one of the most scenic parts of Northern Ireland, without a doubt. Beautiful sea views looking into the Atlantic Ocean, great coastal landscape views everywhere, gorgeous fresh air, and I think you'll love it today. What attracts people to the Giant's Causeway, and what has been attracting them for hundreds of years, what you're going to look at today, well, you're going to check out these, well, they're very strange, almost very weird, six-sided solid stone pillars. And these are hexagonal honeycomb shaped pillars that were formed somewhere between 50 and 60 million years ago. If you talk to the scientists, or maybe if you talk to the geologists, what they do is they transport us back. They bring us all the way back to the volcanic period when all of the molten lava was cooling down. Well, these guys seem to think along the top edge of this island, they think some of that lava took a little bit longer to cool than in other places, and it was during the extended cooling that the lava cracked, it fractured, and it crystallized. It formed these really unique, really strange six-sided stone pillars. Today you're going to witness somewhere in the region of around 40,000 six-sided stone pillars. You'll see them everywhere. They're right up at the highest points. Some of them actually look like chimney stacks sticking out the top of the cliffs. Others almost buried into the amphitheatre. As you wander around, you get nice photographs looking at that. But more than that today, when we get to the Giant's Causeway, there are no restrictions. None at all. If you want, you don't have to, but if you want to, you could get out there, immerse yourself in it. You can go all over those six-sided pillars and walk around them. You can go out to the edge of the water and you'll enjoy it. But what I always say, you've got to be careful. You've got to be really careful. You've got 40,000 six-sided solid stone pillars. They're all linked together, all joined together. And if you were looking at this, imagine you were looking at this from above, looking straight down. These pillars are all different heights. So they start off at virtually nothing, just a few centimeters, and then they just get higher and higher and higher. Some of the tallest of the pillars, some of them are over 12 meters tall, and you can get right up there, but you've got to be really careful. Don't put yourself at risk. And no matter what the weather, I promise you this, doesn't matter about the weather, don't worry about it. It could be pouring out of the heavens. I promise you, you will walk away with great photographs from the Giant's Causeway. And my hope is that you remember it for a long time. I hope it gives you great memories. I really do. Now, while we're at the Giant's Causeway, during that 2-hour visit, there are a number of nature trails or walking trails that you can take advantage of. You can go out and enjoy them. The nature trails have all been set up, designed to give you the best experience with the best photo opportunities. They're all signposted, color-coded. They tell you how long they are and how difficult they are, and then you've got to make that call yourself. You decide which one's right for you, and off you go. They're all completely free. They're not going to cost you anything. You might as well enjoy them. And towards the end of your visit to the Giant's Causeway, let's say towards the end of that 2 hours, if you've been out and covered all the steps, you've got all the photographs you want to get, and maybe you still have a little bit of time before we leave in the coach, well, there's a small pub. You know, if you want to have a drink, you could nip into the pub or a coffee. There's a hotel at the Giant's Causeway, which is very imaginatively named the Causeway Hotel. Yeah. They also have an interpretive visitor centre. The visitor centre is slightly different. I'm going to talk to you about that when we get closer. The visitor centre is owned. Now on the way back, it's a different arrangement on the way. On the way back, you're going to be tired. You'll have covered all those steps, so it's a much gentler route. The roads are straighter, smoother, and eventually bigger. Dual carriageway, motorway, to bring us back into the city itself. On the way back from the Giant's
We are,
Causeway, we're going to
we are
break that
going
journey up a
to
little bit.
place.
We're going to fit in a couple
thought
of
so,
photo
yeah.
opportunities. I'm going to take you to another castle. We're about to arrive into Carrickfergus, but this afternoon we'll have a look at a place called Dunluce Castle. It's completely different to Carrickfergus, and we'll talk about that, but you'll get a nice photograph. If we stay on track today, now we're a big group and I'm a bit worried about this. We're a large group, 58. If we can stay on track, and only if we can stay on track and don't lose any time, on the way back from the Giant's Causeway, we could possibly take a short visit into the old Bushmills whiskey distillery. I suppose I better check. Do we have any whiskey drinkers?